Good morning. How many performance artists does it take to change a light bulb? I don't know. I left 5 hours into the... That joke comes to you through me, but from my colleague Eleanor Savage. So thank you, Eleanor. My name is Vicky Benson. I live in the great state of Minnesota. Minnesota is home to 10,000 lakes and 43,000 and counting artists. This is like a political rally. And if I were president, we'd all be in trouble. I said my name, Janet. Did I say my name? Janet Brown is micromanaging me. Jim knows what I'm talking about. I am used to it. Minnesota's rural communities are vibrant and thriving because of the arts. Next year, we'll spend time in the great city of Minneapolis. Minneapolis has great assets, including Grey Wolf Press, the nonprofit publisher of Claudia Rankine's Citizen. So as I said, we'll spend time in Minneapolis, but we will base from St. Paul. The majestic Mississippi River will be outside our hotel door. The Mississippi River, birthplace of the Dakota people. Our new light rail, the Green Line, will be also right outside our door. The very first artist live-work housing space made by Art Space Projects is down the street. And so is Springboard for the Arts. St. Paul is home to national treasures, including Penumbra, an African-American theater with roots in the Black arts movement. LA has East-West Players, and St. Paul has another premier Asian-American company called Theater Moo. St. Paul is home to the second largest Hmong population in the country. The Center for Hmong Arts and Talent supports incredibly fantastic artists. St. Paul is also home to a premier Arab American arts organization, MISNA. And that's just a few of our great organizations and artists in Minnesota. And we're home, of course, to beautiful Norwegian and Swedish cultural institutions. I'm pleased to tell you that artist activists all over the state are disrupting the system. Yeah. St. Paul's arm of Black Lives Matter really matters and has gotten the attention of our mayor, our governor, and our police department. And we are making change in St. Paul. So I just hope that you will come to St. Paul and tip a glass of akavit with me, and maybe we'll have some coffee. And Janet's going to be really mad at me for saying this, we're going to disrupt the system in St. Paul and Minneapolis. So please come to St. Paul next year. And the mayor of St. Paul has prepared a little video to also invite you, and Steve's going to run it right now. Hello, Mayor Coleman. How are you?
Well, I have a few aches and pains in my shoulders and knees. I'm not sure what happened. How are you?
I'm feeling really good.
The same tenacity that she showed on Friday, but it did not work.
Something doesn't seem right there.
Never mind about that. Let's just focus on the fact that the Grantmakers in the Arts Conference is going to be held in St. Paul in 2016.
Well, I have to say, we're very excited to welcome some of the most generous art donors in the entire country to our community next year. St. Paul and Minneapolis are two incredibly vibrant communities. And one of the reasons why is because we've been so intentional about the arts community within our cities. If you go to Lower Town, it's one of the most vibrant communities in the entire country. And I think the reason is because we have made sure that artists had a place down there. If you look at the St. Paul Chamber Orchestra, the Minnesota Opera Company, all of the things that are happening across the city, it might be a night of jazz over at one of our clubs, or it might be a hip hop concert. You never know what you're going to find in these cities, but they're incredibly vibrant. I can't wait to welcome all the folks from the Grantmakers in the Arts to our community next October. We'll see you there, and we'll show you a good time.
Now I'd like to invite up to the stage my colleague, Kristen Marks.
If that video wasn't enough to convince you to come to Minnesota next year, if that video wasn't enough to convince you to come to our beautiful state next year, here are some of the many things that are our favorites to do. And you can come, hold them up, hold them up. Some of our favorite places, some of our favorite things.
Hallelujah. Colleagues, please stay up on stage for another second, a minute. Is Carol Gardner still here? Carol Gardner from Flint, Michigan. Come up to the stage, Carol. Last year in Houston won the free trip to Los Angeles. And so Carol was going to go out and get a crown, but she's got to get to the airport, a crown to give them to the next person who's going to get a free trip to Minnesota. Instead, Carol's going to come up here. I'm going to spin the thingamajig, and she's going to pick the next recipient of a free trip. Ready, Carol? Ready. Drum roll. Who wants to win? Susan C. Emmerling from the Applebaum Kahn Foundation. Are you here? Wendy says she's stuck in traffic. All right, yay, Susan. All right, we'll see you all in Minnesota next year. Thank you. And we're just going to take a couple of minutes to reset the stage for the keynote. Thank you all.